Well, good morning. Welcome to another edition of 10 with Tom on this Tuesday morning, the last Tuesday morning of the school year. And did you know that today is Best Friends Day? And so we're going to be talking about best friends and all the good friends that we have and the role that friends have. But as we get to that today, I want to start off with a question that was asked last Wednesday night at Refresh, and it was a great question. We were looking at Matthew chapter 12, verse 35, these words of Jesus where he says, "The good person out of his good treasure brings forth good, but the evil person out of his evil treasure brings forth evil." So the more you pour good into your lives, the more good is going to come out. The more evil you put into your lives, the more evil is going to come out. What comes out of you is what you're putting inside of you. And so we talked about the importance of putting goodness into our lives so that we reflect goodness, which is one of the fruits of the Spirit. And so the question was asked, well, what happens if I put a little bit of good and a little bit of evil in? Well, the evil corrupts the good. You know, the story is told of somebody who was asking, can I just put a little bit of bad stuff in my life? And the mother, in return, asked the question, well, what if I put just a little bit of poop in our brownies? And the girl was like, no, you don't do that. I wouldn't touch that stuff. Well, why not? It's going to have all the good things that you like in there. It's going to have the fudge and the nuts and all the sweetness and the ooey gooey stuff. It's going to be wonderful. But there's poop in them. But it's just a tiny little bit. You won't even taste it. But no, there's poop in it. And you know, that's kind of how it is when we try and live on the edge to the point where we're risking putting evil into our lives and not being what God wants us to be. And so my encouragement to all of you who are thinking about, well, how much can I get away with? Don't try to get away with anything. Be good. Follow goodness. Put good into your life and let the goodness come out. Because that's how God designed you to be. And so friends are a part of that process. You know, we've talked about when we're around good people, we put good into our lives. But when we surround ourselves with people who don't have good intentions, it seems like our attitude begins to change. And so the friends that we select are so important in our lives. Now, think about who your best friend is. Maybe who your best friend was 5 years ago, 3 years ago, last year at this time. Okay? Our friends often change. Now, as we get older, our best friends generally stay our best friends longer and longer. All right? I've got friends from my childhood, but of course, a lot of the friends from my childhood, they've all moved away. I've lost touch with so many of them. But I've still got one really, really, really close friend. He was the best man in my wedding. I was in his wedding. And we've remained good friends all these years. And that friend is important. Okay? Where do we find our friendships? You know, sometimes we form our friendships with the people that are on our sports teams or in the activities that we're involved in. Maybe they're friends that we make in our classes at school. Maybe it's people that we meet at church. Okay? We have friends from youth group. Right? And so you might be the kind of person that has several really good friends and not just one best friend. And you know what? That's fine. That's awesome because that's putting more input into your life. And if they're good people, that's more positive impact that they're having on you. Okay? But either way, whether it's one best friend or a bunch of good friends, having those good friends is extremely important. You know, everybody wants and needs somebody that they can be close to. Somebody who will care for them, who will take the time to be with them, to counsel them, to give them good instructions, and to encourage them along their way. So, how do we form those friendships? You know, and what makes a good friendship? There's a lot of factors that can cause a friendship to begin. Two that we already mentioned were being near each other through, you know, the proximity of our school or sharing interests and those kind of things. Being on the same sports teams is another way. Just those common activities, they bring people together. However, something else beyond that has to happen in order for our friendships to grow deeper. You know, for example, A good friend takes the time to listen to you without interrupting. They're not always thinking ahead to what they're going to say, but they're genuinely interested in what you have to say. And to be a good friend, you need to be genuinely interested in what the people around you are saying. To be able to listen more than you talk. A good friend cares about you, genuinely wanting the very best for you. Good friends don't use you. They want the best for you. A good friend is honest with you. They'll tell you the truth, even if it hurts or is awkward. We've all seen those instances where somebody comes out of a restroom and they've got toilet paper on their shoe. And a lot of people point and laugh, but it's that good friend that says, hey, you got toilet paper on your shoe. Okay? Or, hey, you got a piece of broccoli sticking out of your teeth. They take the time, even though it's awkward, they'll say the right thing. A good friend offers to help you when you're in trouble. Okay? Or if you have a need for something, they're there for you. And a good friend will stick by you, even if everybody else seems to be deserting you. So our verses for today kind of highlight that. And they're these verses. Proverbs 17:17. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a difficult time. So a brother or a sister, a close friend, and not just a biological brother or sister, but somebody we consider one of our best friends, our own family. Okay? They're there for those difficult times, and they're going to love you always. And that's the kind of friend we want to be. And then another one, Proverbs 27:17. And this gets back to saying the things that need to be said, even if they're a little awkward. Iron sharpens iron, and one person sharpens another. The things that we should say to our friends are things that are going to make them stronger, things that are going to enhance their life. So I hope you're that kind of friend. Right? So now that you know what a good friend is, I hope you'll apply those same statements to your friendships, that you'll work on being good and doing good, as we talked about last Wednesday night, and become the kind of friend that you want to have in your life. And so if your friends interviewed you, or if they were interviewed about you, what would they say about you? And how you listen, how you care. Are you honest? Are you always looking to help them? And are you loyal? Be a loyal friend. Because if you want to have friends, you got to be one yourself. All right? So that's what we got for you today. Also, today is National Jelly-Filled Donut Day. All right? So if you haven't had a chance to get over to Dunkin', today would be a good day to do that. Jelly-filled donut. Now, for me, not a jelly donut guy. All right? Yeah, I can eat them once in a while, but not my thing. I'd rather have the cream-filled, but that's another story for another day. Just a couple of things I want to remind everybody of. Thursday's the last day of school, so we're almost done, which means it's time to bring the water balloons out. So this Sunday will be the first youth group meeting where the water balloons are out. So we want to encourage you, when you show up at youth group on Sundays or for our activities on Wednesdays and other days during the week, anytime you are coming to youth group, be prepared that you could get wet. Now, these aren't super soaker events every week, but the water balloons are usually flying. They're a part of our games. And so I just want everybody to know up front, don't wear anything that can't get wet, because we're probably going to get wet quite a few times this summer. Also, I want to point out our next Monday lunch bunch will be next Monday. We're going to the taco shop over in St. Augustine Beach. Just a cool little place that has great food. And so if you'd like to join us, you can meet us at noon, and we'll head over from there. Also, parents, if you can drive for our Monday lunch bunches, we'll buy your lunch. Also, we got a mystery tour coming up on the 18th, so make sure you let me know that you're coming as soon as possible, because it's going to be a fun day. We can't tell you what it is because that's a mystery, but that's part of the fun of it. The cost is $40 for the day plus money for your dinner, and so that's what will be happening that day. A lot of other things coming on. If you haven't signed up for the 12 conference in August, make sure you do that. The registration link is on the Reverb Church page, our partner church in youth ministry. And so it's going to be an incredible conference, great speakers, incredible music, and we're going to have a lot of fun. It's August 2nd through the 5th. And a lot of other things going on this summer, and so we hope you'll keep up to date with the emails that we send out, and we are looking forward to a wonderful summer. So have a great day, a great week, finish the school year strong, and remember, be a good friend. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.